An ABC News investigation into a new fight for workers who embody America's can-do spirit, coal miners.
Mine workers are pretty much just as fucked as they've ever been.
Miners may be suffering from the most advanced form of the disease at a rate 10 times higher than what the U.S. government has reported.
What's alarming is that workers in this mine are still to this day being exposed to dust levels in excess of the legal limit.
Evening, George. Black lung disease remains the scourge of coal country. And yet we found in a joint investigation with the Center for Public Integrity that big coal companies have been able to avoid paying millions of dollars in black lung benefits to ailing coal miners, thanks largely to doctors at one of the country's top hospitals. After a lifetime of working in West Virginia coal mines, Steve Day's doctors found he had black lung from breathing in so much coal dust. The disease scars and shrinks the lungs, and once again is on the rise among miners.
My doctor says my lungs are shot.
Steve Day says he can't be far from his oxygen tanks, and in 2005, he was awarded a $1,000 a month disability benefit under a federal program for coal miners with black lung. But Day's coal company appealed the case and then won after it hired a doctor at one of the country's most prestigious hospitals, Johns Hopkins in Baltimore.
They represent masses.
Dr. Paul Wheeler found Day did not have disabling black lung, the same opinion he has given against hundreds of coal miners who also have been denied benefits. According to available records from the last 13 years, examined by ABC News and the Center for Public Integrity, of some 1,573 cases, Dr. Wheeler never found a single case of the severe form of black lung that would automatically qualify a miner for benefits. Not one. And you stand by all those cases?
Absolutely. That's my opinion, and I have a perfect right to my opinion.
Four cases of black lung have recently been identified among Australian miners, decades after it was thought to have been eradicated. It's a preventable disease caused by coal dust. The Queensland Coal Miners Union is accusing industry and government of a cover-up, claiming thousands of X-rays have been stockpiled in the mines department unexamined because of an absence of qualified readers. After a probe by 7:30, the Queensland Government has now ordered an urgent investigation into the re-emergence of black lung, as Matt Peacock reports.
"72-year-old Percy Verrill used to be a fit man. Now he's struggling for every breath.
I feel really weak all the time. Pressure on my chest is so, like if somebody's hit me with a bloody ton truck or something.
A former miner in Queensland's Ipswich coalfields, he has what's called black lung. Coal miners' pneumoconiosis, a disease thought to have been eradicated.
I'm on all medications to try and keep my airway going. And I'm on tablets to keep me going. And now and then I still bring up a bit of blood.
Percy Verrill is one of 4 Queensland coal miners recently identified with the disease. Alarmingly, none were initially detected by the industry-wide medical surveillance scheme.
Future. Chris Hanby is a reporter for the Center for Public Integrity. He has won all kinds of awards, well deserved, but I'm going to skip them and get right to the story because it's very important. Chris has been writing on the connection between the coal industry and a prominent university and how that has affected miners infected with black lung disease. Chris, are you
Yeah, sure. So I was at Center for Public Integrity, CPI. They broke teams into, everyone does investigative projects, but the newsroom was divided by subject matter. So I was on a team that did environment, labor, and public health issues. And started when we got there was a report commissioned by the West Virginia governor into the Upper Big Branch mine disaster in 2010 in southern West Virginia, and it was an explosion down. So there are multiple investigations, but we got an embargoed copy of this report, and we knew that other places had also gotten an embargoed copy. And so we wanted to do something different, and so we tried to see if there was anything in there that other outlets might miss. And we figured that most of the report focused on the explosion, so we thought most outlets would do that. But there was this one page within the report that was kind of a sidebar, but it was pretty shocking, and it said that they'd done autopsies on, they were able to do autopsies on 24 of the men, 17 of those have black lung, which is just an astronomical rate, and it was pretty shocking to me. And then I did a little more research and saw that the government has been documenting since the late 1990s a resurgence of the worst form of the disease. So then that led to teaming up with a guy who also we knew at NPR and who does a lot of coverage of coal mining. And so we did a joint project on trying to figure out why the disease was resurgent. And then in doing that reporting, going around West Virginia, and Kentucky, just talking to a lot of guys, we heard a lot of complaints about the benefits system. And so that was something that I then pursued after we finished the project with NPR. And that just sort of led to its own, I started out looking at the withholding of evidence by attorneys. And then the more I looked into the cases, the more I saw the role that the doctors were playing, most notably the team at Johns Hopkins. And so it just kind of, one thing led to the other. That's often how this goes. This one was really inspiring because usually there aren't a lot of changes after stories come out. I mean, that's the, 95% of the stories you do them and just nothing happens. But this one was really encouraging because, the labor, you had a labor department that was very receptive. So kind of in the final years of the Obama administration, they really were, I've talked with some of the people since who were pushing the reform effort from within the labor department, and they were pissed off about the stuff that was described in these stories. And they basically just set to work with an agenda of, here are the things we got to tackle, here are all the problems laid out, and let's just hit it one by one. And so, they took some administrative actions where they basically just, did various things that they can do without issuing a new regulation to make it easier for guys to win cases, or easier to discredit these certain doctors. But the biggest haul was they actually did a rulemaking, which is a really time-intensive and time-consuming process, and they got it out in 2016. And so now everyone in these cases has to disclose every bit of medical evidence that they get within 30 days and turn it over to the other side and to the judge. And we've actually, I've gone back to West Virginia, and these guys are, getting all kinds of stuff that they never would have gotten before, and they're winning their cases a lot more easily and a lot more quickly, which is nice because they can then start getting the benefits and the payment for lung-related medical care. So it's been really inspiring to see that